Hi everybody. Today on the channel we wrap up our week-long look at building our own Avengers team. Today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, here we have a closer look at Doctor Strange. In the package you can see just about everything he comes with. He comes with a nice little scepter here, some mystic effects, an axe, an extra head, two extra heads, one of his magical in concentration spell wielding heads, some extra hands that I don't think we're going to be using because we got these awesome spellcasting hands, and he is going to round out our Avengers team this week. Here on the side you can see some nice artwork there. Same artwork on that side, same artwork on the back, and if you want to take a minute to pause it and read that little write-up right there, you certainly can do so. But I am excited to see how he is going to complement the rest of the Avengers that we've looked at all week. So let's get him opened up and see what he comes with. All right, here we have Doctor Strange opened up and out of the package, and yep, as you can see, he does not want to stand up very well on his own. He does need a base. He will need a base when he goes on my shelf. But you can see he does come packed in with a lot of stuff. So going over his accessories, the first thing he comes with is he has two sets of mystic spell wielding hands. That's just going to have to be how it is. He does come with a weapon gripping hand and then a fist. I would have preferred two weapon gripping hands so he could wield both of his weapons at once. I don't know if Doctor Strange is really known for punching people, so I'm not sure what the fist would be, but you know, fists do make for really good posing, so that's probably why they give him that. We also have two identical mystic effects, and it's really cool because you can either use this ring, the smaller ring right here, to put on the wand, or you can use the larger ring to put on his hands. And that's really cool, and I like how they're like this translucent yellow with this little orange gradient around it. These look really nice. We have two different heads that they've given us here. Besides the one head that he comes with, he does have this blue mask head. When I think there was a time when Doctor Strange didn't want people knowing who he was, so he wore this this blue mask. He had this blue face. I don't read a lot of Doctor Strange comics, so I had to look this up to see exactly who this was. And then we have a new head sculpt, very similar to the one that he has on in the package, and you can see that there's no dry brushing or any kind of layering or wash to the hair. There is some gray on the sides, which is nice, and then his eyes are closed, and you know, his eyebrows and his mustache look really nice. And this is, you know, like he's concentrating and he is casting a spell or looking into the future. We have two mystical weapons. I believe this is called the Wand of Watum, and it is just cast in this all gold plastic. It has a little face on each side, and then it's got like a little dark gold wash, and you can spin the heads around if you want them, one facing one way, one facing the other. I'm not sure what the purpose is for them to spin, but there you have it. And then he does come with the Axe of Agoramus. I believe that's how that is pronounced. And this is a really nice axe. I think it's got some really nice detail. It's got some nice dry brushing and a wash on it. It almost looks translucent a little bit. If I'm seeing that correctly, it looks like this might be a translucent plastic. Yeah, it really does. It looks much lighter on the edges. And then painted, I like the nice dark gray handle, and then the sculpted pommel looks really good. Nothing turn. Oh yeah, it does turn. The handle does turn separately from the head of the axe. Not sure why. Maybe that's just a construction, part of the construction. But that's really cool. That looks really neat. Taking a closer look at Doctor Strange himself, you can see that the head is the same. There's no dry brushing or layering to the hair. he does have the much higher up. You can see here on this head that the gray goes down into his sideburns, whereas here on the sides on this head, it's just up on the sides of his head. That's really different. But it does very much look like almost the exact same head sculpt, just with like lips painted on and the eyes painted shut. It does look like the same head sculpt, maybe just a different hair piece, because this has a little piece of hair that hangs down. That's very, very cool that they did that. Nice work overall on the sculpt of the cape, which looks really cool. I kind of wish there was a black wash to get down in the lines of the sculpt on the cape, but they might have come out too dark, so maybe foregoing them altogether is the right call there. And there's no wash or dry brushing on the cape. It just is what it is. It's a solid color. We have a lighter blue on the darker blue, which looks really nice. The sleeves are sculpted, the wrinkles are sculpted very nicely here, and we do have some nice dots around his wrists on his gauntlets or his gloves. It looks really cool, and you can see the very proper hand gestures doing the spell. So we do have this extra piece that's super long on his belt, which I love, and then just simple black legs all the way down with no detail sculpted in or painted on at all. It just is what it is, and it looks really, really nice. As far as the accessories go, I believe you can either pop these on like so. Oh, maybe you do use the smaller ones. So maybe you would pop the hand off, and then put the hand back on. Yeah, that's what you do. You use the much smaller circles to go on the hands, and you do have to remove the hands. I wouldn't, those little plastic pieces, it's that translucent plastic which has a tendency to be a little more fragile and a little more brittle than the regular plastic they use for the figures. But there you have it. That's what he kind of looks like casting his spells, and I think he looks pretty incredible. If we want to pop the heads on and try the different heads, you can see this is what the blue head looks like. I don't really care for it much because the neck is flesh tone and not blue, so that looks a little weird to me, but it's still a really cool head to have in the collection in case I need it for something else. And then here is his spell casting, concentrating head, which looks super, super nice, and I really dig it. But for the rest of the review, let's keep the regular head on. Let's take this hand off and give him the wand. See how that looks. And also, you could use this effect on the wand itself if you wanted to sort of have that casting some sort of spell. It's not the tightest, so I don't know how well that would work. But then also here he is holding the axe. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with reading Doctor Strange comics. I never grew up reading them. To me, he's more of a spellcasting character, so I don't think I would actually ever use him on my shelf or have him on my shelf holding any sort of weapon. I do prefer the spellcasting hands, but they do look really nice, and those spellcasting effects are super, super sweet. So let's get him standing up here. He will require a base. He is very hard to stand up on his own. The cape is very heavy, and his feet are kind of a little loosey-goosey. But I'm thinking he's going to fall somewhere in here with our Avengers. So let's bring him out with the other Avengers that we've been looking at this week. We have Captain America. And Cap is going to stand a little bit taller. He's going to stand a little bit taller than Doctor Strange there. Yep. Cap and Iron Man are pretty much the same height. So for the sake of space, let's bring him out. We're going to bring in Thor. So we're going to have competing capes here. Hope one doesn't knock the other over. And then we're going to bring in the Incredible Hulk. And there is how they stack up as far as height goes. So let's get these big guys out of the way and finish out our week of looking at Marvel Legends and building our Avengers team. And let's get Doctor Strange into some lighting and into some backgrounds and see how he poses up. Man, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this week of building our Avengers team and taking a look at these Marvel Legends Avengers figures. I've had a blast doing it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. This is honestly, this is the first Doctor Strange figure that I have ever owned. And he's pretty incredible. I think he looks really nice, and I think he has great shelf presence. He poses up nicely. He looks really good, and I'm pretty stoked to have him in my Avengers collection. He's definitely a part of my team. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I appreciate all the likes, the thumbs, the subscribers, all the comments. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything you do for me, for this channel. You make it all worth doing. Please check us out over at Instagram.com/Saturday Morning Toy Collector. This has been the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark. And remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.